everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel. I hope you're good and well. This is Chat with Laju once again. Yeah, my name is Laju Eche. So recently, the recent book launch of A Journey in Service, an autobiography of the former military president and the president of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, has elicited different reactions. People have reacted, share their opinions, their views. Some people feel like, oh, this is a step in the right direction. Other people feel like, oh, this wasn't good enough. I mean, they've been different reactions. And I started to, you know, share out my thoughts, look at the issues, and, give a military reaction from my own end as well. And I hope that you'll be able to drop your comments and let's discuss this topic and see how our own reaction and opinion of it. And hopefully in the coming series, I will be, of course, I want to get a copy of the book. I want to read the book. I'm interested in history. I'm interested in the happenings of Nigeria in particular, and with what's happening. With the fact that history has been taken out from the curriculum in our learning in our schools, which is very worrisome. And every opportunity I have to learn about the country, the happenings around the country, I want to take advantage of it. So I'm going to be getting a copy of the book. I will also be reviewing the book as in the coming videos. So let's deep dive into this and see what we can find out. Okay, so as we all know, give the background as to how we got here in the first place. In 1993, I remember I was still quite a little boy, but I could literally, I find myself in the midst of discussions of my aunties, my uncles, my parents, talking about the happenings in the country. Some of these things, as I grew older, began to ring a bell in my mind. All those questions began to ring a bell in my mind. So I remember the election. I was a little boy in 1993. Yes, I'm not as young as you think. I'm not in your Gen Z category. So as a little boy, Abiola, what was that song? That was that election song. Na be the one of a better Nigeria. MKO is our man. MKO, Kinigbe, MKO, action. Abiola, 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 progress. All of those things. I listening to all of those things in the radio. I remember the old opera that happened during, before, during, and after the elections. A couple of things happened, right? And basically, that's one of the reasons I'm interested in this, because for some reason this kind of rings a bell to me, right? So all of the June 1993 election happened. The nation came together in one accord. For some reason, the nation just united. Everybody felt like, oh, this is the time for us to get it right, And what you have noted during that time, it was supposed to be transitional moment process from the civilian rule, which was largely spreaded by the military ruler. So it was going to be a transitional process from the military rule to the civilian rule. And at that time, people were literally tired of the military rule, because it was, a lot of things were happening. It felt like the voices of the people was being drowned. People couldn't, hear their views. People got missing for saying and trying to hear their views. A couple of other things. So people were largely excited and were looking forward to the civilian rule, And the election happened. We see the likes of, MK Abiola at the time. It was in the Social Democratic Party (SDP). We also had Basha Tofa of the National Republic Convention Party (NRC). So the election happened. People had believed that we're going to get a positive outcome of what we wanted as a nation and stuff like that. And while the results were being announced and all of that, before we knew what was going on, there was we heard the news that the then military president, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, he had annulled the election. He had, cancelled the election to say that this election is not going to hold or stand. I mean, he was citing electoral irregularities and all of that. This caused serious uproar, riots, fighting. People died in the military trying to calm the people. Couple of stuff. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was an issue at the time, right? And of course, wanted to note a few things. Um, Abiola at the time was a personal friend to Ibrahim Babangida, and it's believed that he also supported General Ibrahim Babangida to coming into power as well. So I mean, these were friends, you know, and so when it was time for Babangida to hand over, I mean, his tenure was over. He needed to conduct the election for the next president to to take over and all of that. So because of the annulment of the election, um, you know, Babangida needed to leave. They had to bring about an interim government, and that was how Shonekon came in as the interim president at the time. Was trying to organize another election and all of that. Well, in the course of all of that, in the course of all of that, um, General Sani Abacha, he was a confidant of Babangida, and he was also serving as the defense minister at the time. In November 1993, Abacha, took over the government. He toppled the interim government of Shonekon and became uh, the one in power, the one on the seat, right? And what do you have note when he came in? That's when we began to hear so as institution dissolved. The Democratic representative dissolved. He basically dissolved everything, formed his own structure and all of that. Right. So the election had happened in June 1993, and up until November 1993, where Abacha, took the seat. There was a lot of opera. Abiola was fighting to get his mandate established, had some international dialogue, traveled to see how could have international dialogue to make him, get his mandate. And all that happened. It didn't look like anything was visible was going to happen. His mandate was going to be upheld. And in June 1994, 1 year after, MK Abiola decided to declare himself president of the commander-in-chief, right? He decided to declare himself winner and saying that he is the commander-in-chief, right? That didn't sit well with Abacha at all. Abacha, picked him up, cited that was a treasonable offense, and he needed to be, imprisoned for that. So Abiola was arrested. Within his arrest, the wife was trying to, do everything within her power to ensure that the right things was done, her husband was released, and all of that. But in all of this process, Kudrat Abiola also was murdered, right? Another tragedy had happened, killing of Kudrat Abiola, that happened, right? So, Abacha was in office, and in October 1995, he had set a time frame, a 3-year time frame to hand over to the civilian government, right? But before all of that happened, Abacha died on the 8th of June 1998. Abacha died on the 8th of June 1998, and a month later, Abiola also died on the 7th of July 1998. and that was actually the day he was supposed to be released from prison. There's a couple of questions there to be asked and to be asked, right? He was in prison for this long. How come it was the day that he was supposed to be released that he died? Was it that somebody didn't want him to be out of prison? Who was after him and all of that? So, two things have happened. Kudirat Abiola has been murdered. Uh, what's it called? MK Abiola has also died, right? And what you have noticed as well, during all of those times, the family of Abiola was devastated. They were, scattered everywhere, trying to ensure that their life is safe, safety first, and all of that. And all of this had happened since 1993. A couple of other things, long gone forgotten issues, and all of that. Nation moved on, facing its different challenges and all of that. And in 1990, in 2018, June 2018, we see that that was the tenure of General Muhammad Buhari. Buhari awarded Abiola the National Honor, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCFR, right? This is an award that is only meant for heads of state. So that means that, they honored Abiola posthumously in June 2018. That's just to establish that, for what it's worth, we acknowledge this man as the Commander of Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, right? And also the President Muhammad Buhari also declared June 12th as Democracy Day. It was moved from May 29, which was originally Democracy Day, so they did that to honor MK Abiola. Right, and also during Jonathan's regime, Jonathan tried to rename University of Lagos to Moshood Abiola University. That faced some huge setback, setback. People weren't really receptive to that and all of that, so that didn't end up happening, right? For what I know, Abiola, the rewards or awards Abiola have gotten so far is the GCFR and the renaming of and the changing of the Democracy Day to June 12th in his honor, right? Now, all of that has happened. Like I said, the nation has moved on. Suddenly, a couple of questions were being asked but never answered, and now General Ibrahim Babangida decided to have a book launch, A Journey in Service, which is his autobiography, and also, try to gather people around to support the building of his presidential library, right, in his name, right. Now, this has raised so many questions, concerns, and people have felt in different ways, right? For me, I have a few questions or concerns or some gray areas that bothers me, right? The first of them is the fact that it's been 32 years. General Babangida had enough time to reflect. He had enough time to do whatever he needed to do, right? To whatever came to mind, right? He could decide to do different things. All along, he knew that MK Abiola won. Of course, he had come out to say, I annulled it because I was faced with some issues. Abacha didn't want it to happen. Some northern forum, some northern elders also, were not going to allow him make it happen and all of that, right? And Abacha is late now. He's dead now. Who can't come defend himself, right? So you've had enough time. Babangida has had enough time to reflect. 32 years, right? Now you put all of your experiences into a book, try to answer, clear the air, clarify some things, answer questions that people might have. And I was following that event, And it got to a point, I began to feel like, wait, what's going on here? Right. So while General Ibrahim Badamasi was giving his speech, then he goes, oh, I needed to say that the election that happened, the June 1990 election that happened, uh, uh, that MK Abiola won the election, and he said he regretted not annulling the election, and he regrets it, and if he has the opportunity to do it again, he will, do the right thing. And the well-meaning Nigerians, I call them the owners of Nigeria, in the room, everybody clapped and kind of celebrated, and the event moved on and all of that. Then that caught my attention, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So first things first, if after 32 years you feel like, oh, you've wronged somebody, right? Acknowledging that you wronged somebody, is that the only thing that mattered? Was that enough? Could he have done better? Was that enough? So, okay, I acknowledge I've wronged you, right? Don't forget, the principal character in this Abiola, he died. He lost his life. What was his offense? I won an election. Right, that was his offense because he won an election. His wife was assassinated because of the same reason. She was trying to ensure that the husband's mandate was upheld. Right. His family was scattered abroad. Abiola's empire became a mess, scattered. Right, that couldn't come together. And all you could say is you regret your actions. Is that enough? And what you notice for me is how within the circle of these so-called owners of Nigeria, how they have upheld and built the nation on the foundation of injustice. They can do anything and get away with it. No consequences for actions. And this is very worrisome. I mean, that's why we literally don't have a rule of law, especially when it comes to their class. Oh, what's that will happen? Oh, call somebody that calls somebody, and that will call somebody and say, oh, let that man go. So, for what it's worth, this for me settles the argument when questions are raised in light of, oh, did the older generations support the country as much as the younger generations? And that just clears it for me. Because the older generation built the foundation upon which the younger generations are laying the building. So for me, the foundation is more important. Right? So the foundation is more important. No? Okay. So let's go on. So the event went on, and you said, oh, and next thing I saw, people, the owners of Nigeria came, started, donating for the library. If I was in the shoes of General Babangida, what I would have done, I mean, I probably don't have the opportunity to right my wrongs of 32 years ago, right? But I'm still alive today. I still can do something about it. It's either I never say anything about it and let it just continue to slide, or I will do something actively about it. I would have said, okay, now I want to build a presidential library, right? But I'm going to build two presidential libraries. One for me and one in honor of my friend, MK Abiola. It's going to be side by side. So whatever donation that is going to be made, if you're going to build $100 billion or Naira library, cut it by two. Dedicate one to your friend, right? I'm going to build two. Presidential library, MK Abiola Presidential Library, General Babangida Presidential Library. Right. So they started donating money, and they donated all the money to the building of the Presidential Library of General Babangida. So, question. Oh, acknowledge that MPO won. So that means that everybody move on with your life. It doesn't matter. No justice. And it's the clap and acknowledge. It's the clap and celebration of all these people. For me, maybe I'm the one that is overthinking it, right? Like they will say everything is hidden under politics, so you don't know how to play politics. Oh, everything is hidden under politics, so it's a political strategy. There are no emotions in politics. Um, that's politics for you. But, anyways, let's move on. So, in building his library alone, so he's the one that deserves to have his legacy to be upheld, and that of Gabriela. It don't matter, right? Everybody move on. Villa is dead. Move on. Let's even rephrase. Let's even try to put any one of them in these shoes. Let's assume that it was the father of President Tinubu that won an election 30 years ago, right? In the process, his father was detained, his mother was shot, his father later died, his father's empire was scattered abroad. The family became, the damages done to the family and all of that, the trauma and all of that. So life should just go on. Or let's even take it from another angle. I mean, this is not even trying to be tribalistic, right? Let's even take it from another perspective. Let's assume that a renowned leader from the West had done such to a renowned leader from the North, right? I tell you, it doesn't matter even if it was 32 years after. Just by that announcement, I can guarantee you that there will be some level of uproar in some part of the nation right now. And if those people are not appeased to their satisfaction, they will not accept it. Oh, people say, oh, okay, he has acknowledged his step to healing. Now the nation is. What do you mean the nation is healing? Who is healing? For me, this is just a celebration of injustice and celebration of inaccountability. And what worries me the most is, are we supposed to follow their steps? Is this the foundation they are building for us to follow? There's no shame to it. They're so bold with. They're so bold with not even having an iota of shame to some things, and I'm concerned. And they call them leaders. For me, these are not leaders. These are just political playing figures. A leader is somebody who sets examples. So this is another example for young people or people younger than me to follow. That's just my candid opinion, right? So for me, if anybody was to be celebrated in that event, it should have been the late MK Abiola and not General Babangida. For me, his release of that book was enough. If they were going to do anything extra or special for him, it shouldn't have been done without also putting into consideration doing something for the late MK Abiola. That's my opinion on that, right? Another thing that comes to mind. We all know that. The late MK Abiola and Babangida, they were friends, right? They were friends. If during the event, we hear something like, maybe General Babangida had reached out to President Tinubu to say, I want to have this book launch, and I also want to, canvas for my presidential library to be built. I would also like you in the process to find a way to honor my late friend, the late MK Abiola. Please, what can you do for me so that we also would announce it during this event? To use this opportunity to honor the late MK Abiola. I would have felt like, that's a great direction to go. But no, That casual announcement, everybody move on, donate approximately 17 billion for me to build my library. I mean, come on. This country never stops to amaze me, never stops to baffle me. And this is one of such occurrences that I will just look at and I'll be like, is there any hope for this country? And when I say people kind of look like, oh, you're being negative, you're being, you're being negative. It's not about being negative, it's about look at the people, the key players that are driving the affairs of the country. The foundation on which they built this country is a problem. And there's no road in that direction. Going in that direction is, if we're ever going to build this country, we have to detour back to the beginning and fix that foundation. You have a building, the foundation is faulty. You're going to bring down the building. You're going to build a proper foundation that will hold the building you want to build, right? So, everybody have their opinion, but I mean, this is my opinion. This is how I think and feel about it. I know they say in politics there are no emotions, but we're dealing with humans here. We're not dealing with moods and inanimate objects. These are human beings we're dealing with. These are people died in this. And the best way to reward them is to say, oh, I acknowledge that you won. Come on, we can do better as a country. And I see that, oh, the likes of Muhammadu Buhari has done something magnificent in honoring the late Abiola. I also saw that Goodluck Jonathan was trying to honor him with changing the name of University of Lagos to, to that of Abiola. But I'm also concerned, knowing that Tinubu was a supportive member of Abiola in the past. I mean, he could also be called his mentee. Abiola was the one they looked up to and they supported, and they wanted him to champion and be the lead and lead them on that journey. Tinubu has been the president for how many years now? And I worry that I have not seen anything from the current president Tinubu to, try to honor the late Abiola. I mean, I don't know how much and how well it matters to him, if it does matter to him, but if it does really matter to him, I think in the first year, I mean, even in the first 100 days in office, we should have even seen something he has done in that regard, right? Especially knowing that, oh, not only was he like a mentor to you, he was, I mean, looking at it from a regional point of view, right? One of us greats from the West. We've seen the likes of Awolowo from the West. Oh, he has been, immortalized in several ways and manners. Oh, there's another champion from the West. Life happened. He couldn't show us how great he was and all of that. If I was President Tinubu, I would definitely have by now found a way to honor that man in my own way, not even considering what other people have done. I still think that the late MK Abiola still deserves more honor than how he has currently been honored. That's just my opinion. I mean, you could share your opinion in the comment section. I mean, it's okay to share opinions. Don't batch me. That's just how I feel. If you feel differently, it's okay. You could just share your opinion peacefully without being harsh about it. All right. So thank you all so much for staying tuned, for stopping by my channel. In the coming period, we're going to have more content. We're still going to be deep diving into this matter and discuss about it even in more detail. So thank you so much. See you some other time. And bye for now. This is Chat with Laji.